All right, who's up for a sandwich? What's going on, guys? Yes, this is a meat slicer, and yes, it's in my shop, and yes, it belongs to the local county jail. Apparently the prisoners got a little rowdy in the kitchen and knocked the meat slicer off the countertop and broke a leg off this bad boy. So what we're going to do today is we're going to try to repair where the foot actually screws in on the bottom. I'll show you guys what we got. It is aluminum cast, so could be quite fun and could be quite challenging and quite tricky. So I'll get this flipped over and I'll show you guys what we got. Yeah. Well, it's not light. I can roll this over without hurting it. Oh yeah. That should be perfect right there. I'm gonna give you guys a look. Okay, so as you can see here, the cast is snapped here. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to just build it up, drill it out, and re-tap it. That's gonna be extremely tricky because the threads down inside of here, I don't know if you can see that, but they're completely destroyed. So I'm gonna take a burr and I'm gonna grind this out to where I can get my torch in there, and I'll just build it up as I come out and stack beads on top of each other until I get this built up past this machine surface. That's the plan. So we're gonna have to see how this one flows. It does look like there's an aluminum colored paint on this, so that could be fun to deal with as well. So I'm gonna get the Dynasty set up and we'll give it a little test and just see how it goes. With cast, that's kind of all you can do. So we'll get set up and try it. All right, folks. Looks like somebody burned up their last 20 on a Subway cookie, so he's back out here to earn some more so he can buy another cookie. Guess we'll put him to work. Really? Alright, I think that looks pretty good. We'll be able to get somewhat down in there. We're to the bottom of the threads. The threads don't go all the way to the bottom of that hole, so with as much as we ground that out, it looks like we'll be able to get to where we need to be able to build this up. This is just going to be stacking beads on top of each other, so let's hope it runs all right. All right, so we put on our Pyrex cup. Feels so weird being able to see. I'm not used to that. We got our welder set to 275 amps. AC balance is 60%. We're at 120 hertz. I am running a soft square wave. We'll see how that one goes. Let's give it a try. Smells like cooking meat. So I am gonna have to be careful on this one. We don't wanna let this get too hot. So I'll probably have to run one pass, let it cool, run one pass, let it cool. But it is running quite well for cast. I'll run another bead here and then I'll give you guys a look. But I'm quite pleased, to be honest. For cast, this is clean cast. Of course, it's been in the kitchen its whole life, so. Oh yeah, she's getting warm. We don't want to let it get too warm because there's a motor right here, so we don't want to get that too hot either. And it's got a plastic fan cover, so we got to be careful of that. So we'll let this sit for a second. So this is what we got. This is our second pass. You can see that I was trying to penetrate the walls, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to go in a circle and build that up. If it ends up being solid, that's fine. There is a little bit of a cavity down in there, you can see. I don't want to totally seal that off, so I'm just gonna build it up in a circle. I'll actually oversize it because I can always machine it down or grind it down. So that's the plan. We are letting it cool in between. So we'll go ahead and build this up, and then we'll give you guys a look once we get it all built up and ready to drill out. Alright guys, so here's what she looks like. You can see that we build her up to where it protrudes past that surface. So we'll be able to grind that down flat. And then I'll drill a little teeny pilot hole where the center of my leg needs to be. That way the bit doesn't wander when I drill the hole. There is no more feet. That's what the original ones looked like. There's only one left. My buddy that dropped it off told me that they didn't know where they were, and I quote, "We don't know where the rest of the feet are. Hopefully the prisoners aren't making shanks with them." So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and start working on grinding this flat to this machine surface, and then we'll see if we can get our pilot hole drilled. Alright guys, hopefully you can see we got her all polished up and flat. So now I'm going to pull that bolt, check the bolt center, and I'll lay this one out and drill my pilot hole. Alright guys, so here's the good thing. I pulled this bolt and I'm able to pull a measurement off the outside edge, so I can get a pretty dang accurate measurement. Okay, so now I'm going to grab a center punch and I'm going to punch that. Whew. Okay, now I'm going to take like an 1/8 inch drill bit, just something small, and I'm going to drill a pilot hole right there. I'll just take it up in 1/8 inch increments. So I'm going to jump up to 1/4 now. I'm going to go check my size on my tap and die chart for 1/2 inch 13. You'd think I'd have these memorized by now, but I don't. Wishful thinking. 27/64. Here we go. This is the one that counts. I'm going to step up one more time. I'm going to go 3/16 on this one. I lied. I'm stepping up again. 3/8. I'm trying to keep the drill level or square to the meat slicer. And I'm not really sure how I'm doing, but I think I'm close. Looks like I'm doing okay. Oh, you son of a gun. All right, it's time to go for it. 27/64. Hey! Lovely. I love dropping nice sharp drill bits on the concrete. Okay, so now that that's drilled, I'm gonna grab my tap and gonna grab some oil, and we'll come back and we'll tap it. Okay, now again, this is kind of tricky because I'm trying to keep it square with the meat slicer, which is easier said than done. Oh yeah, I think we're there. And I like to back it out quite frequently to clear the chips. It's easier on the hole, it's easier on the tap, it's easier on everything. So, and then I like to blow the chips out of there. I also like that ear-piercing whistle right in the ear hole. And what we're gonna do is just bottom this baby out. It's not a bottoming tap. I'm pretty sure that's how the factory did it because the threads stopped about 1/2 inch above the bottom of the hole. So they just drilled the hole extra deep so that they could get the threads deep enough. So there is just a tad bit of a burr on the outside there, so I'll show you guys what I like to do with that. All right, so I've got my countersink set here. I'm gonna take my 3/4 countersink bit here and just touch off there, just to knock that burr off. It also gives it kind of a finished look. Just enough to knock the burr off. I feel like I sounded like Bob Ross right there. Just enough to knock the burr off. Just a nice happy burr there. There's that whistle I love so. Okay, I'll give you guys a look. It's not perfect, but I think it's gonna work. So hopefully you guys can see that. It's hard to see down in the hole. There is a little spot down there right at the bottom that's not threaded. You can see right there. That's pretty dang close. And I think it's gonna hold up. So I'm just gonna leave this like this. You could grind this off to try to make it look pretty, but I like the added rigidity and thickness of having that there. Because if you look at the factory one, if you see how thin this is, you can see why it broke. So I'm gonna leave it thick right there. That way next time they knock it off the table, I'll have twice as much work to do. So I'm gonna grab a bolt and we'll check it with the bolt. I've got to look at this. It looks like this one snapped off and I got to see if I can extract that. That could be interesting. I'll go grab a bolt and we'll check it. Got the same size bolt here. Feels good. I'm actually gonna bottom this sucker out because that's gonna give it a little added strength, I think. I want to be careful with the aluminum. And we're gonna bottom this one out too. So one down. Now I gotta see what the heck I'm gonna do here. I really don't want to take this off. I feel like if I take these out, it could snap off because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 already snapped off. So I'm loosening them with my fingers. So I'm gonna grab an impact and pull them out. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna try and drill this out. And I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna slowly step it up in size to try to keep it centered. So I'm gonna start with an 1/8 inch drill bit. and I'll just try to get it as centered as possible. With the surface of this, the way it's broke off, I'm not going to be able to center punch that, so I'm just going to have to try to center it the best I can. Ooh, that's moving. Oh, snap! Okay, show you guys another trick here. So another trick I like to use, ooh, I might not have to. Usually with stuff like this, if you're going to drill it out, you can try a left-handed drill bit, and a lot of times it'll just walk it right out of there. But this one, we're not going to have to, because it's coming out on its own. Well, sweet! There's our little 1/2 inch broken bolt. I am going to try to drill one of these out, because I feel like if I can get another screw in here, it'll be a lot more secure. I'm just going to see. So the camera died, plus I didn't want to bore you to death, but I did get all these holes drilled out, re-tapped them. I got screws in all the holes. So this little electrical compartment can be sealed now. I'm screwing in this last bolt here, and as I was thinking about it, I'm going to measure this one factory leg. It's 1.5 inches. Son of a gun, right on. Some nights you're just on. And some you're not. So I'm going to set all these to 1.5 inches. And I'll just snug those up and be nice and gentle. Okay. Screws are in, bolts are in. It has 4 legs now. We are going to blow this out. They're on my head. Now I'm going to roll it over. And we're going to be nice and gentle, because I really don't want to have to repair it again. Oh, just about donated a easy out to the county jail. I really don't want to do that. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. 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 Whew. Okay. Oh yeah, she's solid. No idea how this works. We're just gonna leave it like that. Aha! Gotcha. Oh yeah. I'm tempted to go in and grab a roast and try this baby out. Slap on a hairnet and go to town. All right, well, I think that was a success. This is one of those repairs that is honestly quite common. Anytime you have something that's aluminum cast with bolt holes that are near a corner like that, it's quite common that when something gets dropped or tips over or something like that, chances are it's going to break right there. So it's quite common that you see repairs like this where you have to build the cast back up, machine it back out, tap it, whatever, and make what was broke new again. So I think we accomplished that. Appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you on the next one. That should help keep the large bit centered before I drill the 1/2 inch 13 hole. Before I drill the hole, goodness, off of each edge here, goodness. All right, guys, so here's the good thing. I think that was a success. Goodness, I can't speak. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell to be notified every time there's a video comes out so you can, goodness.